The last thing to do for a concept study object is also think a little bit about stability. So these legs, well, how would we connect this actually to the tabletop? Well, we could do this with some dowels or screws, but it would be a very unstable connection. So we have to create something under the tabletop, kind of like a metal frame, which we could bolt the legs to very securely and then screw the metal frame 4 or at 6 points into the tabletop at the bottom. Okay, let's do this. Here we will start with a plane, and this plane we still have snapping set to face. We move up, hold Control and snap it to the bottom face. Very good. We can call this frame. Now these left and right edges I would like to move to there, and then the top and bottom edges, they should line up with my other sharp edges here. To do this, with the rectangle selected, I go to Edit Mode, I go to Scale. The whole object is selected, and then I scale along the x-axis. I can try and pay attention to how does everything look, how do I frame actually my leg here. So this is 24, 43. I hold shift while actually moving the X for scaling. Okay. This looks actually pretty good. I can go to object mode if I want to, and also type in here 43. So this is a little bit more precise by 24. Again, because then I did this in object mode, then I have to do the apply scale. If I only do the scaling in edit mode, I do not. So with this created, we can go here to move command. We go back to face. Because I have all these edges selected, the face is also selected too. So I do not necessarily to use this face command here, have to be in face select. With face select, you see it selects the face. With edge select, if I click these 3 edges, it selects the 3 edges. With the 4th edge, it also selects the face. Okay, then inset, and we can eyeball now how far do I want to do this. What do we have here? 1.5 inches, so 1 inch. Yeah, how much do we need? Again, this is all right now more eyeballing. One very big tip when you start learning how to 3D model, have a ruler next to you and measure objects. It helps a lot. In computer graphics or any 3D program, we can zoom in and we can zoom out and make tiny things look really large. It's very difficult to understand scale here a lot, or not a lot, to see and feel scale accurately. By measuring real life objects, it always helps. I will clean this up a little bit to 1.5 inches. Maybe, I clicked somewhere else and you see this is gone. So I undo my steps, then I go back to inset one more time because I wanted to see how does this look just with 1 inch. Yeah, 1 inch will be fine. Okay, this face I don't need anymore. X and dissolve. Actually, no, not dissolve edges. Here we go to delete face. There it's gone. Now we have this open. And we have this frame left. What we can do now, we go select all, go to extrude and extrude this up by 0.5 inches. What happened? Well, you see, I just typed in 0.5 and we don't see anything. It just went up positive Z. Well, if I type in here negative, then it goes down. There we are. Very good. One check here again, face orientation. Oh, look at that. You see it there, all is red. Okay, select all and then go to mesh normals outside. There we are. Cool. Good. Now this is actually already pretty nice. So this would be a model where maybe all these corner pieces, this would be made out of square tubing with mitered edges welded together. However, we just simply model this in something an engineer could then take measurements from, and then they just rebuild it. You saw this actually took just only a few mouse clicks to create in a CAD program, and we want to be more precise. It just takes more time. To perfect this, we also need some corner elements. Okay, so Shift A, by the way, is a shortcut for this add menu, or you just use the main menu. Shift A, it's exactly the same. Face snapping turned on. Move it down and snap. Now we set this to X 1 inch. This may be 10 inches. I don't really know yet. And here Z, I will rotate this by 45 degrees. Very good. Then I will go to this view and see and move this to there. Okay, so 10 inches is way too big. What about 6 inches? This gets closer, but it's actually too small. 7, yeah, maybe 7 inches or 8 inches. Maybe. Okay. Then it will move this one back. You see how nice it is with the local orientation in object mode to quickly scale, position something so it could work. Now what we will do, first thing, again, apply the scale. Then we will go into edit mode. We will extrude this up by minus 0.5 inches. And we will select this face, so face select, and we have to rotate this one 45 degrees. But there will be one problem when we rotate this. When I rotate this 45 degree to make a miter cut, you see how the other edges rotate. Not good. I want to shift or slide this face. And we have a command for this, shear. So there we are. We have various gizmos here to select. We want to shear it along kind of like this direction, which is this one, and 45 degree is actually value of 1. This is the incorrect direction, so I press the minus key and hit enter. Okay, let's do this one more time. Left mouse button, click and drag, and I'm still holding it, and then -1 and enter. Also here you see this value, so I could go to here, move this a little bit, and then say 1. Cool. Okay. Let's go back to object mode. I have this piece done. So what can I do now? I will now go to global mode, because now I just want to move this left and right and up and down. With edge select still turned on, I can see no, that doesn't really work very good. So with inside of face, I go to edge select. How does this work? Maybe a different view. Ah, there. So So what's going on here? I get a lot of various snapping targets. Well, the thing is there's more geometry and the software tries to figure out what geometry is class snapping to. So sometimes moving the mouse a little bit around helps the software. Okay, good. So this whole piece is 9 inches long. Yeah, this is not ideal. So how could we fix this? We could either move this one down to there. Let's say we move it to here. And then we, with edge select and local, hold the control and snap it back so it's right under this part. But then we see this is inside there. How do we fix this? Easy. Okay, we just go to edit mode, move. You see how this is still set up to local orientation. Here's a little trick. Turn on mirroring. Easy, on the other side is mirrored at the same time. Awesome. And then hold Control key, snap to this edge. There we are. How long is this edge actually? Let's measure 8.25. Yeah, okay. So not necessarily super ideal. It's fine. In engineering, you might actually change the dimensions more to something that is good. We don't really pay too much attention that this is nice and clean. So this is like an 8.25 inch, which we could cut this way. It's a little bit awkward, so maybe an 8.25, so quarter inch might be easier. The last thing to do now is with this selected, we will go to mirror, X and Y, and then here select the tabletop. Again, you see the commands are very much repeating each other or itself. That's a nice thing. There are a lot of commands to learn at the beginning, but it's repeating itself over and over again. To bring this to an end, we have now this all set up. We can, for presentation purpose, add a small edge rounding to it. 2 millimeters. So it's not razor sharp. Imagine your legs are below. You don't want to have sharp corners there. Let's do the same here. So bevel 2 millimeters. And this now, in case you see I'm typing in mm and 10. Let's zoom in. There we see that in this case here it rounds all corners. That's not necessarily what I want. So we will hide everything else. Hiding an object is H. Alt H is unhiding it. And hiding everything that's not selected is Shift H. Okay. We can go into edit mode. I saw this object, but that is a mirrored version. But here, when you zoom out, there you can see where my real object is. We select all these edges, bevel, bevel weight, those edges, weight, and there you see we only rounded these edges. And then Alt H to unhide, AA, yeah, and that looks actually better. In real life, that's literally also really the way how this would be, but then we would weld it and then sand it. So for our modeling, this is perfectly fine because this is something we could give to the shop and they would understand what we want. Now, to finish this design, the only thing left is these legs are inside our metal construction. That's not good. So we will go to edit mode, wireframe mode, so it's easier to select. Then I select this top face and this bottom face. These two I would like to move. Then I move this one up. There we are. And let's go back to face snapping. And then I move this one down, put my mouse cursor over this face, hold Control key, release the left mouse button. There, snapped it back. There we are. And because it's a mirror command, you see it's all done on the other objects. Very good. And yeah, so this is actually pretty nice. That's a good clean design. This has very good values. Now this here, okay. These numbers read a little bit different. You might say, no, like what's going on? Well, it's only because we have a mirror command turned on there that actually changes this. If, to show you quickly how fast it is to rebuild, so let's say we want this to be really 8.25. Okay, so Shift A plane, then we set this is 1 inch, this is 8.25 inch, then we will apply the scale there. Then we will go to edit mode. We have this selected. We go to extrude this down by 0.5. Very good. Let's double check the orientation. Oh, nice one. Well, it's good. We will replace this anyway. So this is all good. There we are. Now we go back to select this face. And then we will do a shear by 1. Okay. And then we do here a shear by -1. Okay. Because we rotated these edges, this is actually not 8.25 anymore. Now it reads like 9.25. Okay, so what can we do here? We need to move these two faces in by ½ inch each. So select this face, move local. We want to turn on Y mirroring and bring this in by -0.5 so that then this will read as 8.25. There we are, 8.25. Very good. Okay, this one we can we could delete, but before we do this, hey, select this, Shift select this, and then we go Object and say Make Links. So we copy actually the modifiers from here to there. Didn't really see much change, but they are there. Then bring this one down. So the modifiers are copied, also weight, but nothing is rounded. That is simply because we added the commands, so the modifier command, but we have to bevel this one more time. Bevel weight paint, I mean. Very good. There, now this is, in terms of visibility, this was turned off. Now this we can delete, so X delete, and this we will rotate along Z by 45 degrees. So where is the one? So there's the piece, very good. Face select for snapping, there we are. And then we will go to edge select. No, because we have a rounded edge here, very easy. Turn this fillet off for the moment, so then the snapping will work easier. Let's go to global and try. Oh, okay. Why is this actually mirroring a little, flickering a little bit? There, okay. That made it easier for the software there. Okay, all this is lined up. Very nice. Jing, all good. So now there's a tiny bit of an overlap of this over here, but this is perfectly fine. This is not a machine. This is also cut out of wood. It wouldn't be manufactured that precisely. And this here we call frame. We can maybe call this frame support or corner support. Use logical names. And never forget, go and save. And we have finished our table, not table, our PC table. I hope with this little exercise you saw how out of very basic geometry, again, these legs, they look actually quite nice, but they are just rectangular faces, and we created this out of a flat sheet, made a cubical shape out of it, and then we used this interactive modeling approach to add the surface features to it. And this is actually really fast.